Today's horoscope from Astro Academy, Cancer, September 2, 2022. While you're likely to begin the day in the mood for something different, you feel more responsible than usual as the day advances. Fortunately, you enjoy the more practical focus. Your ability to lead or take charge is in solid form, and your productivity is strong. Even with some slowdowns or possible delays, cooperation and support from others flow naturally, and it boosts your mood. Today and tomorrow, a Sun-Pluto influence has a way of illuminating areas of resentment or over-attachment. With extra insight or self-awareness, it's easier to solve problems. You might recognize desires or resentments that were buried, particularly related to your personal life, family, and home matters. Keep your eyes peeled. If you've been waiting for someone to come back around or perhaps seeking closure in a romantic situation, never say never. For instance, your romantic fifth house of love, passion, pleasure, and self-expression, which means this is an opportunity for you to reflect, revisit, and reassess things in your love life. Someone could very well come out of the woodwork unexpectedly. But more importantly, it's up to you to use your discernment in the next couple of weeks. Don't be afraid to stand your ground. You could be experiencing a creative block thanks to the ongoing Mercury retrograde Uranus retrograde square. The last few days could have been an annoying process of continually going back to the drawing board. By now, you should hopefully have better insight into what you want to invest in. Ideally, you will be investing your time, money, and energy into your professional creativity. But you might not know what project or venture to start with. Use the square to form a loose game plan, but it would be best before acting on anything until after Mercury stations direct. Whether it is the dwarf planet Ceres, in her first full day in direct motion in your financial sector, or Uranus in his last weekend in retrograde motion here, they are both at a standstill. With the lunar nodes returning to your two money houses next week, this is a chance to stay in the moment, with the lines between the past, present, and future starting to blur. To put it mildly, you are somewhat overwhelmed with what is expected of you. There are frequent misunderstandings, especially with relatives and friends. To avoid making the tense situation worse, refrain from acting in the heat of the moment. You need a great deal of time and patience for talking things over to clear matters up. It's a good time to make some changes in the way you handle money and possessions. You're feeling all serious and grown up, so the world had better watch out. You come under intense scrutiny and react badly to criticism you might receive from people you care about most. Emotional outbursts lead you to say things you later regret. It is probably best if you try and remove yourself from any tense situation to a quiet place where you're able to reflect on how you feel. You feel generous and loving today. It's a great day to be you. Exude and revel in your energy as you give it. People will want to be around you. You mustn't neglect yourself for others, always a risk for you. Give yourself enough time and space to do your yoga workout, go for your run, shop for dinner, whatever it is you need to do for yourself. Enjoy the company of others, when possible, but prize your own. On this day, your reflective nature may take you on a trip down memory lane. Why try to put on the brakes? Indulge yourself by contemplating the dynamics of your family of origin. Like all of us, if you do not know the whole story of how your parents met and eventually got married, you may have questions that you want to ask. By all means, do so if you have the opportunity. Aligned until they not only leave your financial sector tomorrow, but beyond that, Venus and Mars are channeling all their energy into fueling your financial passions and fighting spirit. Tomorrow that will change, and they will channel this into a passion for adventure, bringing together Venus desires and Mars willingness to fight for what you want. Today this is being channeled into money matters, with an alignment with Pluto, the planet of change and revolution over the last few days, adding some last-minute incentive. Because Venus and Mars have been aligned for nearly 3 weeks and will remain aligned for another week, the planets of love and passion have become one. This is already firing up your romantic passions and fighting spirit, but it is when they return to an adventurous part of your chart tomorrow that this will bring the spirit of adventure into the mix. Our eyes in the sky. An opposition between the Scorpio moon early this morning helps us reconnect with our pride. However, this unbalanced aspect between the moon and Saturn could make it difficult to shed sorrows from the past. Remember that all forms of healing take time, and that it's okay to enjoy life and feel happy even when there are still aspects of your psyche that experience pain or sadness. Luckily, as afternoon rolls in, we'll be able to shake off any funky feelings from earlier in the day, as the void of course moon gives us the energy and ego boost we've been waiting for. Allow yourself to feel confident about yourself and your goals. This is also a great time to reassess or revise any passion projects. Don't hold back, get moving toward the things you want. The energy here is very creative, so get experimental with your hobbies and express your artistic side. As nighttime creeps in, the moon moves into Virgo, giving us some much-needed organizational energy. Use tonight to check your schedule and make to-do lists for the coming days. In the morning, the Scorpio moon opposes Saturn in Aquarius, dampening our spirits. Others fail to give us our due, excluding us from social situations. Perhaps our friends or colleagues are unable to see how our talents could benefit the group, or we are otherwise prevented from participating due to ill will. On a more mundane level, we could be physically distanced from our communities now. Naturally, loneliness can weigh on our hearts, but we will do little to ingratiate ourselves to others by dredging up drama or adopting a "woe is me" approach to the issue at hand. If we really want to show our stuff, we are better off assessing our attitude. Remember, you do not have to be for everyone at all times. The moon begins its void of course following this aspect, lasting until the late afternoon. Instead of airing grievances or blaming others for wounding our pride, we might determine where our gifts and talents will make the most impact. In the late afternoon, the moon enters Virgo, ending its void of course. Over the next 2 days, our emotional terrain is governed by logic and precision. We feel our best when our routines are fleshed out. This way, we can manage tasks without succumbing to overwhelm. While this impulse to organize can help us streamline our daily lives and handle our business efficiently, life often proves unpredictable. If we are unable to rise to the occasion at a moment's notice, we should remind ourselves that we are doing the best we can under the circumstances. Discernment will get us everywhere, but overanalysis can devolve into tunnel vision.